Hello, Helpline volunteers. This is Simone, and I'm going to be giving you an overview of the Helpline master sheet. And so to access this sheet, first off, you'll need the link, and you'll receive it in an email from me, hopefully, and you'll click it, and it will take you here. I should mention, if you don't have Gmail, you won't be able to access this sheet, so if that's the case, reach out to me so we can figure out a different way for you to access this information. And so when you open the sheet, you'll first start at this process tab. You can see that process is clicked, and these are the other tabs that haven't been clicked yet, but we'll go through some of these later. And so here you've off the bat got the link to open the voicemail, and you'll just click that and then use these credentials to sign in. Beforehand, you'll want to make sure that you can sign in, and you can get on the phone with me or Rochelle to make sure that that's working for you before you start answering calls. And then next, I've got these just really quick resources for you. Like if you don't want to be rummaging through this sheet for just the basic resource guide, they're linked here, and our resource page is linked here, but we'll go into more detail on that later. Next, you've got logging calls, and this is important. For each call you return, please fill out the log, and you can access that by just clicking right here. And you'll go to the form that you'll complete for each call. And note that if no one picks up, you'll call back again, and if they don't pick up again, then you can archive that call. You'll leave a voicemail, and then you'll archive the call, but you don't need to fill out the log. So that's a little confusing, so let me repeat it, and it's actually typed out here. So if you call once and no one picks up, please try to call them again. And if they don't pick up, leave a voicemail message that time. And in that voicemail, make sure to identify yourself as a NAMI volunteer calling from the helpline and say, if you would like a call back, please call and leave a message with some times that you're available for us to return your call. Unfortunately, in the voicemail, you can't share resources, and that is just because this is meant to be a resource line that people can access somewhat privately. There's stigma associated with looking for mental health resources, unfortunately. So just in order to respect people wherever they are, we don't actually leave resources in voicemail messages. So that is the process. Next, I'm going to go to the schedule contact info sheet. So this video is timeless. I didn't fill out the current volunteers, but hopefully when you open this sheet, you'll be able to see all of the other volunteers you're working with, their email address, and if they choose, their phone number. And again, that's up to you. Also, you'll fill in your name and email address, and then if you decide, your phone number too. And this is just so that you can communicate with each other in case there's a specific caller that says that they're going to call back. You can share some context on that without sharing names, of course. But this can be really helpful. And also, if you need a cover, you can also, reach out to folks via email and ask, hey, are you available to cover me next week, or whatever the situation might be. You can also see here, Rochelle returns calls, and actually, she doesn't just return calls, she takes live calls from 2 to 3:30. And I'll show you more on that on the website resource page, but that's just something to note. The next tab I'll click is this staff forwarding. Again, this isn't static. Things change. So I'm not exactly sure how long, all of this information will be perfectly accurate. But as of, August 2022, these are the folks that you reach out for various different things. So say you get on the phone with someone that's interested in peer services, our peer classes, peer support groups, just in general, what's available for individuals living with a mental health condition. You'll share my email address with them. If someone is interested in a presentation, you'll share Andrew's email address. If someone is interested in collaborating on Black or African American support groups, or really any mental health things related to Black and African American programs, you'll put them in touch with Sharon. And the liaisons actually have callback numbers as well. If someone speaks Cantonese, Kelly is the person to put them in touch with. And if someone speaks Spanish, Angela is the person to put them in touch with. So that is the staff forwarding sheet. And then down here, I'm going to click the resource tab. So this is sort of like the most important tab, and I'm working on organizing this in a better way because it is a little bit of an eyesore. But the information in here is really good. So up here you can see we've got the website walkthrough video, and if you click that link, you will be taken to the video where I go through all things website. And then here you can access each of the guides. These you can also see on our website, but in case you don't even want to bother opening up the NAMI San Francisco website, you can do it all just from this sheet. And you do that by just clicking one of the links. So for example, the SF Primary Resource Guide, clicked it, and it pops up in a new tab up here, and you can navigate this resource guide. All right, so moving right along, we've got crisis page resources, and I've listed bullet points. But really the easiest way to sort of see this stuff is to, again, oops, that link is, oh no, it's not broken, but I need to fix that so it's easier. But you'll click this link and it'll take you directly to the crisis page on our website. And here you can access different crisis resources. So if you're on the phone with someone whose loved one has been arrested, you can learn more about supporting that loved one in jail or prison here. There's different steps. And that's helpful to walk people through with on the phone, as well as to share that URL so that they can, review that information as needed. We have the same thing for find a missing person. I won't click through that, but it's right here, you can see. And then call 911, similar to the other two. This is a great step-by-step process. It's helpful to talk to the person on the phone about each of these things, and I would review this in advance so that the first time you need to explain it, or you won't be explaining it for the first time when you're actually on the phone with someone. It's just good, read this out loud to yourself, and then when you're on the phone with someone that would benefit from this information, you'll have a better sense of how to talk to them about it, and it won't be totally fresh. And again, for different people, they have different sort of like web literacy, so it's important to be able to talk to them on the phone as well as share the URL and how to contact folks, or how to contact the website here. So going back, there's also this crisis resource tab, and these, we're hoping to update this page, but this is just some basic psychiatric emergency service information, mobile crisis team. This is for, folks that are in crisis, whether that be a manic episode or suicide, like high suicidality. So I've got to organize this more, but there's really good information here that is mostly up to date. So going back, I think that's all of the things on the crisis page on our website. Going back to this helpline master document, we've got the training document here, and this goes over a number of things. It's always helpful to review that. It includes things like tone, and yeah, basically this goes outside of what I'll talk about in this video, but just so you know, it lives here and you can open it as a PDF if you click. And then here I have a most used go-to resources. These are ones that they end up popping up a lot, so they're helpful to sort of have bumped to the top. So this is sort of like, quickly, if you don't want to take the time to have to go through these yourself and you know that someone needs help with treatment, you can, refer them to this resource more easily. The Peer Run Warm Line, this is a great place to send someone that definitely needs to talk more on the phone. It's like a great supplement to support groups. If someone isn't able to make one of our support groups, the Peer Run Warm Line is just a place where someone with lived experience with a mental health condition can sort of talk to you and hear more of your story and support you. It's a great resource to share. And I won't go through all of these, but hopefully you get the gist. Next, I've got this scripts page. These are not comprehensive, but a couple of folks asked, some basic responses to situations that might come up, so that you don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. And if I'm not available to talk to you more about it, here are some quick responses if someone is in crisis. It's really not your job, and it goes beyond what I could train you to do, to de-escalate a suicide situation or someone that's very suicidal. And so this is a script to managing that call. Here's another script if someone tries to engage with you romantically or socially. That can be an awkward conversation, so I've created these prompts. And again, this is not something that you're trained in. It goes beyond what you volunteered to do. So, really feel comfortable hanging up on calls like that and just letting me know about the caller and their phone number so that I can have a conversation with them need be. And yeah, this is similar. I don't know why I have a different blue line for it. Next, we have the form responses. I'm actually not going to open this tab, but this you can access if you're curious about calls that have been returned. It's basically the call log data, but I won't open that for confidentiality reasons. I hope this video was helpful. I'm a little nervous, doing these tutorials, and I know I say a lot and I can rush my sentences. So if anything is unclear, please reach out to me or Rochelle. You've got our email addresses. And yeah, happy volunteering on the helpline. We're so grateful to have your help. So thank you. Bye.